Nityanandam, Jnanapadati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones, ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing, manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Who have signed. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains what is power manifestation. Raising your frequency, cognitive shift, consciousness is our very being. And it's a science because millions have experienced that, and each one of us can experience that. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The pramanas. The pramanas are the evidences which gives a cognitive shift beyond our thinking mind. Our mind constantly with doubts, confusion, chaos, and beyond that there exists a space where Paramashiva is real, consciousness is real. And to get the consciousness, just by listening to the pramanas, we get the shift in our cognition to experience that consciousness is real. The pramanas. Shastra pramana, scriptural references, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. Apta pramana, the experience and the results of the aptas. Aptas are the rishis, munis, kanas, nainamas, alvars, siddhas, all of them manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Atma pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leela to showcase how cognitive shift manifests as superconscious powers. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of millions of disciple devotees, followers initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation. Bhagavan residing in the Kailash Courtyard and manifesting the powers of Paramashiva through each one of us when we connect in the oneness with Paramashiva. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully documented all the scientific study in Avatar Shastra, and all of them show how the prefrontal cortex becomes so active, manifesting all the reality, giving us more breakthrough and all the possibilities in life. Bhagavan beautifully has given the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana for the depth dimension is taken from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra verse 1.16 for the power of depth dimension.
शुद्धतत्त्वसन्धानाद्वा अपशुशक्तिः शुद्धतत्त्वसन्धानाद्वा अपशुशक्तिः.
Beautifully, Paramashiva, for the power of depth dimension, has given the scriptural reference from Shiva Sutra, Sutra verse 1.16. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being that all that exists is Paramashiva, the pure essence, and attaining and uniting with that pure essence and existing reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva's infinite powers. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence. What is that Bhagavan is giving us as instruction in each of these verses is making us understand the powerful cognition. Consciousness is real. How Arunagiri Yogeshwara gave Bhagavan the cognitive shift and how Bhagavan experienced the greater science that Paramashiva is real, consciousness is the very being, and more we understand, use the consciousness as our reality, more and more we'll be manifesting that as our life. Instead of running behind life and trying to get satisfied, Bhagavan beautifully says the very existence of us is consciousness which is experienced through the senses as it celebrates itself as our reality. Because Bhagavan beautifully says how we are in the deep sleep as consciousness, as higher frequency that mind does not understand. Literally, the God particle in our DNA is awakened, and that is why we are in a higher state. We feel so complete. Nobody complains about sleeping and how many ever times it is repeated. Nobody has a frustration or depression because the very nature of us is the space of oneness which we experience in the deep sleep. And how do we experience when we are awake? That is what Bhagavan clearly says. The deepest joy is not in trying to achieve something or trying to make something out or trying to win something or impress something. It is only to experience the Paramashiva in reality, which manifests as the outer world, which gives the complete oneness with you who you are and others who are living with you in such a deep space of completion, auspiciousness, abundance, bliss. That is why it says Paramashiva's infinite power. It is infinite by nature. but we try to restrict it to a logical, what we understand as our body. Bhagavan beautifully says, you are also reflected in the body. You are not just the body. When you are breathing, if you understand, you are not just the breathing. Everything around you is breathing with you. If you understand that consciousness is real, it's like the ocean, which comes as a wave, but wave itself does not mean that it is independent. It is the part of the ocean where it just merges into ocean, becomes the ocean. And that is what happens to us in every night. When we understand the God particle, it becomes reality when you connect to Paramashiva, and that is the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Bhagavan says, when you are awake, how the mind can settle in the restful awareness. How can we feel the oneness? That is all about the power manifestation for us to experience the existential reality. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully gives the Apta Pramana, how in Ramayana, in Yuddha Kanda, when the Brahmastra, which is the nuclear weapon, strong nuclear weapon, was used to destroy the whole enemy of Rama's whole troop, and there were 67 crore monkeys, and all of them became unconsciousness, and also Lakshmana. So Hanuman runs to Vibhishana, with Vibhishana runs to Jambava to understand how to retrieve the whole thing. And Jambava says there's a herb in Himalayas and he has to bring before the sunset. And if he can get the 4 herbs that's mentioned here, they will be able to awaken them. And simply Hanuman, by the power of Ramanama, that is why Bhagavan says, Ajaba Ajaba is so powerful to raise your frequency into that God particle space. The higher your frequency, the higher the auspiciousness, abundance, and all that bliss happens in your life. Bhagavan beautifully gives how the Apta Pramana, he chants the Ramanama, he is able to make the time literally stand still, that he goes and gets the Himalayas, goes across from Sri Lanka to Himalayas, all the way, gets the herb. He is not able to find the herb. He carries the whole mountain and brings the mountain. The minute the mountain was brought, it simply awakened all the monkeys and Lakshmana back to life. We had the science of regenerating even from a nuclear weapon. We had a science to stop time. We had a science to even carry a mountain. And all this was a possibility of human beings, and is now also, Bhagavan reminds us, by giving us the powerful cognition, consciousness is real. And again giving us the ultimate reality, that how we can manifest the greater science if we understand how we think we are just a matter, but how Bhagavan beautifully gives an Atma Pramana. We are nothing but the sea of Paramashiva.
The atheist traditions in the West say, man made God in his mold. Some of the religious traditions in the West say, God made man in his own mold. I say, God, whether he made man in his own mold or not, I don't know. I don't know God. But I know Sadashiva, God L. He did not make you in his mold. He made you in his own sea. Listen to this word. I am using the word sea. S-E-E. Not S-E-A. Listen to this word very carefully. See is an action. I wanted to say, when I see, one end is me, another end is you, another end is you, that's all. Because you are seeing with 2 eyes, what you are seeing, you can't absorb that into you. But I am seeing with the 3 eyes, what I see, I can absorb that into me. And I know it is my own other end. Understand, that is why I am using the word, not even seeing, see. I am giving you exact, literally what I wanted to convey. The relationship between you and Sadashiva. You are the see, not seen, seeing, see of Sadashiva. Listen, just now I made a statement. When you see through the third eye, whatever you see, you can manifest, manipulate as you want. It means what you see will be your own extension. It is you. See, if I can make my right hand bend, do whatever I want I can do, means this is me. What you understand as me is what I convey through the word see. In you, the me is only materially which is connected to you. In me, me is what is connected to me even by see. Listen. For you, me means what is materially connected to you. For me means what is seely connected to me. I don't know how much you catch it. I'll just tell you this small story which really happened. Arunagiri Vishra was trying to explain Advaita to me. He was sitting in the temple. This side, his left side was the Arunachala hill. Right side was the Garbha Mandir of the Arunachala temple. The front, I was sitting. Exact eyes you guys are having now when I say me is see. How you are? That is exactly the way I was looking at him. He said, see this hill, this Arunachala, you, me, all one and the same. When you put the hand, of course, I was inside the hand. Literally I saw the hill just moving, the Garbha Mandir moving, me moving and disappearing. He, me, hill, Garbha Mandir, all disappearing into him. When experientially I saw whatever he was seeing, he is able to Photoshop it. He can just pick it up, put it, and if you say, I wanted to ask thousands of things and came to realization, the moment you hugged me, everything disappeared. Everything disappeared, I forgot. Some things I remembered later, some things I don't even remember. How many of you have this experience? Then you can understand what I am trying to tell. He just merged the whole thing. Listen.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained how he merged. How does that happen? All that Bhagavan says, when we are in the bioenergy space, whether it's a criminal, whether it is a Krishna, whether it is you, me, everybody, he says we are in the one. If we understand the string theory, all that frequency is connected with the string, and all that as matter is also energy. Now science is catching up with all this greater science, and if we put all this together, we can understand that how in the deep sleep, how all of us are one. Even if a person who just got amputated or went through such a trauma also sleeps just like you and me, who has no issue, or a king who has no issues, because all of us in that space is one and the same. All of us die the same way. It's not the king has a better death and a poor person has a less death. All of us leave the body and move out. The reason we are in the body is to experience consciousness. And only in the waking state we are even aware of the body. Otherwise, in the dream state and deep sleep, we are not even aware of the body. If we understand, even in the body, we are deluded. And if we raise ourselves to the higher frequency, even in the body, we can have the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which is the consciousness, is real, and I am consciousness. Once we tap the higher intelligence, which is more powerful than the nuclear power, they say literally the dead body, when the dead body is in Jiva Samadhi, it is very flexible. It does not become hard nor it become heavy. It actually becomes lighter, and the throat doesn't get clogged. It becomes very smooth, that as though somebody can eat. All this is possibility, is existing. We see the Jiva Samadhi body. It's completely different dead body, or you can't even say dead. It's a live body, and Mother Earth protects it for even 700 years. And clearly it shows that there is some higher definition who we are, not just the materialistic world. Here Bhagavan has beautifully given the Shakshi Pramana, where the Rudras are performing extreme beautifully how the manifesting a huge heavy object, and they are moving just by the power of third eye.
Here you will be able to move any experience which is there inside you, or anywhere the matter which is stuck inside you. The same matter, when we move the matter outside, the same matter which is stuck inside you will move instantly. And another thing which Swamiji has beautifully told is, when we Rudras are the extensions of Mahasadashiva, we take responsibility to bring all the beings to have the same joy, the same experience of being a Rudra, Swamiji's own DNA. And now you will see that Jason's hand is completely flat, and we are taping it such that it will not be easy to move, and also his hand can be comfortable holding the heavy kalasha so that it doesn't move and the power can manifest extraordinarily. So now his hand is completely flat on the Kristashila. The Kristashila is nothing but a granite slab, which is also a facilitator to manifest the Shaktis and helps us to connect with the experience of his own DNA. Now we will be placing the Kalasha on Jason's hand. And as now we have taped his hand and put his hand flat on the Kristashila, it is stable and it is not moving. So now Sukada Maharaj, you can start humming the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya is Om Nityananda Mahasadashivoham. It is a beautiful mantra, and which Swamiji, the Mahavakya which Swamiji has initiated us in, and that is a very powerful mantra which we use to just immediately get back to the space of oneness and start manifesting the powers of Mahasadashiva. So now Sukada Maharaj will be humming the Mahavakya, and all of you actually can join. And the same experience, like I already said, whatever matter is physically in front of you, when you're able to move that and even you witness the Shakti being expressed in your life, if any matter is there inside you which is not moving, which you're not able to have a breakthrough with, the same Mahavakya can be chanted and the same breakthrough can happen even in your lives. So now you can see that Sukada Maharaj has manifested the power of consciousness over matter, and it has actually moved from a stable position. It has moved to he has moved the matter of 9.4 kgs, and this is how Swamiji beautifully trains us, not only to move just physical small objects here, but including the temple pillars, and the whole building the Mahasadashiva's temple is only being done by the Rudras through power manifestation.
How amazing building the temple. It is really said how the Pragadeshwara temple, it is documented where all the sculpting was done with such precision is because of power manifestation, including the top Vimana which was structured, and also it was covered completely with gold, which the Britishers themselves have clearly documented. Not just any gold, but 250 tons of gold. Gold was never a big issue for us. When we become consciousness, simply we can turn any metal to gold, is the science that Paramashiva has given. When we understand the higher science, gold is nothing, or manifesting wealth, or health, or relation is nothing. It's such a simple thing. We can master everything beyond your perception, what you understand as the world. Beyond that, you can experience the greater science. Who you are is Paramashiva, God Himself. Now, for us to experience that, please take any object. It can be as big as a car or any object or a huge stone. Or you can mark the surrounding of it, or just a table or a simple rock that you can pick up, that you can't just move with your hand, and you can place it in the hand or you can place it on the table and make a marking. Once you do that, and you can set up the recording, and if you have the Jnananjan in your Kantamala, you can apply in the third eye and your temple and on the object that you're going to move. What we are going to experience? We are going to experience the oneness with Paramashiva, entangling with Him, and completely surrendering our identities which we carry. And simply by the initiation of Bhagavan into the powerful space, we are going to experience the oneness, manifesting all the powers as prasada. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Visualize Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, you start experiencing the oneness with Paramashiva. You start manifesting the powers. So bring all the powerful cognition to the third force that Bhagavan has told. How the powerful cognition just pushes all your identities out for you to have that restful awareness. That is what is the absolute unclutching and complete completion. Complete completion is making everything redundant. How in the dream you have a very bad dream. When you wake up, you just shrug and you say, oh, that's a dream, and you just go on. You don't go to a hospital, or you don't fix something or talk to somebody. You just drop everything. Same way, unclutch from what you understand as reality, including your body, your mind, everything for few minutes, and experience just the oneness with Paramashiva. Sit with 25 heads, 75 eyes and 50 hands as Paramashiva is real. More and more you are in the bhava. It's not you are thinking about Paramashiva or perceiving of Paramashiva or trying to imagine Paramashiva. No. You are Paramashiva, like you don't imagine sleep. You are sleeping. So you are Paramashiva. Just hold the bhava. That is the biggest tyaga. And chant the Mahavakya, how Bhagavan said, especially to test with your hunger. Whenever your hunger comes, just chanting the Mahavakya. And there's a clear documentation how fasting just increases the mitochondria and heals the body, and simply any disease that you have, you get rid of that, whether it's mentally, physically and financially or any other layer. It just heals all layer when you go beyond your hunger. Food is what we are, who we are made of. When you are in the space of chanting the Mahavakya, understanding consciousness, which can give you more intense happiness, even small manifestation that you have done, you would have been jumping the whole day that I manifested something beyond the logical mind. That is the space of how you have extremely good deep sleep, how you have, and consciously you are entering that. Same way, when you manifest these powers, you are so clear there's something beyond what you understand as logical mind exist, and that fulfills you much more in a much higher intensity than what you can experience through the five senses. That is why Bhagavan says, just couple of days, do the fasting, even dry fasting, and you will experience so much of bliss and happiness happening in yourself. And that is what is unclutching and complete completion. All the parasites leave your body. That's all is happening when you're doing the fasting, and simply the gut bacteria cannot run your brain because it's all now have to run for their life. Completely, when you surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet, all this bacteria and viruses vanishes, which is not good for you. and simply you feel the restful awareness, the mind simply settles in consciousness. Consciousness is real. That is the very reason why we even experience the senses. And chanting the Mahavakya continuously, Hanuman has clearly proven, and all the Mahatmas, whether Sharada Devi, every day 3 hours she used to chant the Ramanama, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, or Tyagaraja, the greatest person who has composed all the Carnatic music, that happened after he became enlightened by chanting the Mahavakyas. Mahavakya has the power to transform you into what you understand as materialistic world to consciousness. And completely the secret key is deep listening. When you start listening in life, life transforms for you. Let's entangle with Bhagavan. Few minutes of deep unclutching and experience the oneness with Paramashiva. Just now you had a wonderful initiation. Experience that again and again and again throughout the day, throughout the time, all the time. And manifest the power of depth dimension moving a heavy object.
Nityananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnananda Paramashivam.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, now take a picture of that. Any object that has moved from the markings that you have done, you can take a picture and authentically share that at the end of the session. We'll have one more cycle of manifesting the powers. Power manifestation, how it might be a simple exercise, but it transforms us. Bhagavan says it pokes hole in our self-doubt, self-denial, and self-hatred. All the logic just shatter away when we understand there's something more in us happening as consciousness is real. Be consciousness is the ultimate Mahavakya Bhagavan has given. Experiencing that as reality is by manifestation. Everything we need to physically in our physical reality experience that, not just in words but in physical reality. That is why Bhagavan has given power manifestation exactly after every darshan, diksha, initiation, satsangs, for us to feel the oneness with Paramashiva and manifest as powers. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line and make sure we are unclutching from everything that we know as our identity. Put away your gadgets and experience the oneness with Paramashiva. And whatever you feel Paramashiva as real, experience that as your reality. Whatever the I, Bhagavan says, the I-ness in everything. When you are a small child or you are a youth and you are now, what you didn't feel that it never changed is the I. That is the consciousness in you. That does not change eternally. Recognizing that and living that as Paramashiva as in you, as reality, which is experiencer, which is experiencing, which is the quantum space, infinite space that you can experience. Hold that and chant the Mahavakya intensely from your navel center with a deep listening. You will experience the consciousness as reality, the depth, the dimension, moving a heavy object. You can mark it and take a picture. At the end of the session, again you can take a picture and see how it has moved from the original space. Or you can place it in your hand also very stable, and if it moves, you can record that and share it with everybody. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya with a deep listening that consciousness is real, Paramashiva is real.
Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let
Beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, please go ahead, take a picture of that and share it in tinyurl.com/palm manifestation. You can see the link under Bhagavan's picture and you can type that and share your experience, the photos, the powerful cognition, your suggestions, your clarifications, your whatever you experience, and thank Bhagavan for all that he's showering on us and how what a hard work he is doing for us to deep gratitude and deep oneness. Thank Bhagavan Paramashiva is real. And thanking all of you in all the social media, connecting to Paramashiva consciousness is real as your reality and manifesting the powers. If you see the dollar sign, you can offer your donation for Bhagwan, and all these donation does not buy you anything, but you become that Paramashiva space in you as reality. Because what we like, we vote for that. When we go for a grocery shop, we buy what we want, and especially the same brand what we like. Same way, when you offer your donations, you start recognizing Paramashiva as your favorite space of cognition and hold that space. All these simple truths that Bhagavan has given us, if we follow with simple integrity, simple obedience, so much of manifestation happens in our life. So with the deep gratitude and thanking all of you, thanking Bhagavan and deep earning, Paramashiva is real, consciousness is real. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you so much. The next session will be at 6 p.m. IST time. Thank you, Nityanda.